So guys, this is my review for Spirit Chronicles episode 12, and with that guys, let's dive right into this review of episode 12. Let's get it. So the title of the episode is called Faded Reunion, and I'm just going to be breaking down just a few key points throughout this video per specific images. Because it was basically the episode itself was just straightforward. It focused on here between Rio and Celia. They were communicating telepathically. Uh, Rio did his thing, guys, throughout this episode when it's pertaining to fighting and escaping and all of that. He did a really great job. One thing I do want to note though is it's been a while since we've heard this throughout the anime, and that is basically when somebody who uses magic actually does the like the chanting thing where the basically per the characters they would say enchanting enchantment uh, spirit activation. The guards, some of the like guards and stuff, foot soldiers use that. They actually said the the chanting words to do. It's been a good several episodes since last time we've heard somebody actually say the words so that they can activate it. So I just wanted to put that out there here in episode 12. But basically, Rio was basically talking to Celia and trying to convince her here in this moment that getting married to Sir Charles was just a bad thing. Like he was basically telling her, like, if you do this, you're actually doing is you're doing this marriage out of um, something that you specifically don't want to do. Like you're being forced to do this. It's not going to bring you true happiness and joy. Celia was trying to sort of convince Rio that if she doesn't go through this, this marriage, that it won't, it will hurt some people. But Rio basically was telling her like, look, like if you go with me though, if I help you escape from this, because if you go down the if I just let you go and you go and get married, this won't truly bring the joy that you want in life. And he basically said, like, once he told her, and this is a quote from Rio himself. He said, once you lose something, it's gone. It's forever gone. And he basically was convincing her, like, look, I want to help you. Since it doesn't seem like you haven't lost anything yet, and I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So we want you to get away from this. Please don't go through with this marriage with Sir Charles. And Celia basically agreed upon doing that. Now, once he was able to convince her, he basically was taking her away, full speed running. Rias was in the vicinity. He was around. He was watching, and he actually tried to do like this huge magic attack because he was noticing that the other magicians were trying to attack and they weren't doing anything. Their attacks were doing like hardly no damage to him. To Rio, Rio was blocking everything, and so Rias stepped in and he tried to use this big, huge magical blast that definitely looked very, very dangerous in itself. But Rio was able to actually deflect it. But it more than likely it definitely took him more of the uses of his strength and power to be able to block that attack from Rio. So there's that. But once he left and he was getting chased by some other guards on some horses, he was able to make it do what it do. But at the same time, even before that chase down, he was able to take Celia into one of the alleys, where he was able to have Aisha take Celia to a safer place. And then that's when he started hopping the roofs and getting chased by the people, by the several of the guys on the horses to be able to get away. And then once that occurred, then we have this really, really, really great fight to come in the middle of the episode. And that fight was between Rio and Lord Alfred. And this is the guy that was basically at that tournament, who if you remember, he was kind of reminding Charles about his own place currently and trying to convince him to like calm down, because remember Sir Charles and Rio fought in the tournament. He was trying to beat him down, but uh, Sir Alfred Lord Alfred, he basically was just like, look, dude, you need to just let it go and work your way back up to getting back to the status that you want. But we get to this fight. The one thing that you notice in this image, and that's the thing, like throughout the anime itself, even as you see, Rio is covered in that magic enchantment, right? The only thing that is covering an enchantment when it's pertaining to Lord Alfred, again, this is the first time throughout the entire anime that we see this. It's just his blade. It's just his weapon. That was like really interesting to me. But there's a reason for that. But it's just really interesting to see that that Lord Alfred has such a control over his own magic ability and power and stuff like that. It's just, you can tell that he is definitely at a higher level. And that's the thing. Even in this image here, Rio was struggling to stand his ground. Like, you always see it in anime, like when the characters are fighting back and forth, and we get this moment here where they're like standing and blocking each other's weapon, like the weapons are like are bunched up together like this, and the weapons, like each of them are like struggling to hold their position. Lord Alfred wasn't. He was like not moving. It was just his weapon that was moving. That was like struggling. That was it. So you could tell in this fight that Lord Alfred he is not a joke to mess with. And again, this fight that they had together was really really dope. But then, like, because they can tell that there's a difference in their fighting style and stuff like that. Like, Lord Alfred did not hesitate at all in doing the attack that comes up soon to come. Like I said, guys, Lord Alfred, he does not hesitate, because he says to Rio, like he was like, dude, like, you are underestimating me in this fight. I'm not I'm not gonna allow that any longer. He literally holds he closes his eyes, holds his sword, like this light, this red light, as you can see it covers over the sword, and then he lifts it up, and then like it just does this huge uh thing here in the image. And he basically does like a Getsuka Tensho, like how Ichigo would attack in Bleach, in the anime Bleach. So he just like flings his sword down, and it just like demolishes the road in front of him, and basically where Rio was standing, and it like damages the buildings on the left and right of it as well. But Rio was able to escape. So this was just a different attack that we definitely. This is like the first time we're seeing this happen, and just like I said before, you could tell the difference. You could automatically tell the difference when they were fighting for the first time ever here in the anime. Like Lord Alfred he's a beast, guys. He really is a beast. Now, eventually, Rio, like I said, Rio was able to escape the fight between him and Lord Alfred, and he was able to get up here to where further out from the city, to where Celia and Aisha was standing. But while they were standing there, they were reunited and having a conversation and talking about like having just like really just like talking about just like talking again, and getting updates on everything about how they've been doing, because they were so excited to see each other again. That's when Aisha notices something happening in an instant. She says, and I quote, "It's coming." And then, as you see next to where she's standing, way in the back, one of the mountains, this flash of light flies up into the air. But it's in other vicinities, like volcanoes, other parts of the mountains. These flashes of light just burst out from where, like basically like volcanoes. Basically, that's what it looked like. But it's like flying up into the air. But you don't know exactly what's going on. But then we find out this happens, or should I say, these characters show up at the end of the anime. And as you see here in the Curtis image at the very end, this is an after credit, right? So basically, you see these characters pop up. They definitely they don't look like they're supposed to be here basically in this time. As you can tell, They look like regular, normal human beings from reality, from 2021, basically, right? As you can tell from their school gear and stuff like that, they're just regular, normal students who were headed to school or coming from school, or whatever. But as you see, one of them, their name is uh, Masato, and the other one's name is Akini-chan. And as you could tell, the young lady on the right there, she looks really, really familiar. The one thing that they try to do at the end of the episode is not show her face yet, but we get a chance to see her face at the very, very end of episode 12, and this is what she looks like. And look who it is, guys. It is Aise Miharu, aka Mi-chan. Uh, Haruto, now Rio, his best friend from back when he was a little boy. She pops up with her classmates and friends here in the reincarnated world that Rio has been reincarnated for roughly what, a year now, 2 years roughly. Very interesting stuff that this occurs. Now, what ends up happening? They were standing there trying to figure out where they were. Miharu had her phone out. She was trying to check check the internet connection, showing no service. But then some brutes come around and they grab them. They basically lock them in these carriages, try to take them away. Basically try to look to sell them. I definitely want to think that that's the case. They want to try to sell them, but Rio showed up because Aisha was able to tell Rio, like, look, you need to go and help them, because she knew specifically where they were at. And Rio goes into the area here, and he goes up to one of the dudes that was like, I guess he was like one of the leaders of the group, and he even shows him the phone, like, there was somebody who had this phone here, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but he hears one of the kids. I don't know if it was Miharu or not. One of them were yelling and screaming and banging on the inside of the carriage, and then that's when he gets attacked by a couple of the brutes, and he just like, and that's the thing. That's the first time this happened too in the anime. The other thing that has happened too in the anime, he is cutting Rio's cutting limbs off. Right, he is literally cutting limbs off of the enemies. The other thing that we are seeing for the first time here in Spirit Chronicles. So yeah, he's literally cutting people's body parts and stuff off, and there's blood and stuff like that. So it's like I said, it's the first time we're seeing this here in the anime, another first for the anime. So, but like I said, he's very shocked. He's like it's you, it's Mi-chan, but he's thinking in his mind, he just doesn't say it. But she introduces herself, and like I said, this is basically how the episode ends. But such a great episode, guys. It was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. Rio did his thing here in episode 12 for today. I really enjoyed this episode and continuously enjoy this anime every week since episode 1. But with that, guys, I'm about to be out. Let me know your thoughts. Leave some comments in the comment section below. What did you all think of episode 12 when you first sat down to watch it for the first time? Let's talk about some things. But other than that, I will talk to you all next time with more Spirit Chronicles. Peace, guys.